The top 1% owns almost half of global assets. It sounds like history repeating itself. It shouldn't surprise us. Empires, centuries ago, relied on concentrated power, trade dominance, and influence over distant lands. Modern economies might wear suits instead of armor, but the strategies are eerily similar. Corporations expand like colonies, financial systems dominate like armies, and brands shape culture like empires once imposed laws and languages. In this video, we'll explore why our global economy behaves like an empire, uncovering patterns that stretch from ancient history to today's digital age. Are we really free, or just subjects of a new kind of empire? Section 2. Historical parallels. Centuries ago, empires thrived by controlling trade routes, resources, and populations. Think of the Roman Empire, the British Empire, or the Mongols. They didn't just conquer land. They monopolized wealth, influence, and innovation. Fast forward to today and we see corporations controlling markets, tech giants dictating attention, and financial institutions shaping economies. The patterns are almost identical. Concentrate power, control resources, and influence culture. While the tools have changed from swords to algorithms, the game remains the same. Understanding this history is not nostalgia, it's insight. By connecting the dots between past and present, we can see that the mechanisms driving inequality and control have been refined, not replaced. Section 3. Concentration of wealth today. A few corporations and individuals dominate vast sectors of the global economy. Tech moguls, multinational conglomerates, and hedge funds wield power once reserved for kings and emperors. The wealth gap isn't just a statistic, it's a lens through which the modern empire operates. Ownership of essential goods, control over information, and financial influence ensure that decisions favor the few. Contrast this with the majority of the population who depend on these systems to survive. It's not only about money, it's about leverage, influence, and shaping societal norms. Recognizing this concentration is the first step to questioning who really benefits from economic growth and who remains constrained under invisible, imperial control. Section 4. Corporate colonies, much like ancient empires sent governors to distant lands. Modern corporations establish colonies worldwide. These aren't territories with walls and flags, but markets, factories, and supply chains spanning continents. Multinational corporations influence local economies, labor markets, and even politics. Through branding, marketing, and lobbying, they create dependence, ensuring that populations align with their interests. Just as colonial empires extracted resources, today's corporations extract value data, labor, and attention from regions far from their headquarters. This modern form of colonization is subtle but powerful, showing that empire building doesn't need armies when economic dominance and cultural influence do the same job. Section 5. Digital empires. The rise of technology has birthed digital empires. Social media platforms, search engines, and e-commerce giants dominate attention and behavior. Algorithms decide what we see, shaping opinions and habits. The digital landscape mirrors the empire's old strategies: control, communication, manage perception, and secure loyalty. Unlike physical conquests, digital empires operate invisibly, embedding themselves into daily life. People may feel free, yet their choices are guided, their attention monetized, and their data exploited. This new form of dominance proves that empire isn't about land, it's about influence. By recognizing how digital power functions, we can start understanding the modern mechanisms of control that govern society. Section 6. Financial armies. Banks, hedge funds, and investment firms act as the modern empire's armies. They wield capital as a weapon, moving trillions of dollars across borders, influencing governments and dictating global policy. Unlike historical armies, their power is unseen, operating through loans, stock markets, and interest rates. Economic sanctions, corporate mergers, and strategic acquisitions can destabilize regions without a single shot fired. This financial control mirrors the strategic precision of ancient militaries, ensuring compliance and expansion without overt violence. It's a silent empire, but one with immense leverage over nations and populations. Understanding this power is critical. These financial armies shape economies, livelihoods, and even the trajectory of entire societies. Section 7. Cultural influence. Empires don't just rule, they shape culture. Ancient rulers imposed language, religion, and education to consolidate power. Modern economies do the same through media, advertising, and entertainment. Brands create desire, normalize lifestyles, and influence values. Films, social media trends, and viral marketing dictate what we aspire to, often subtly reinforcing corporate agendas. This cultural hegemony ensures loyalty without force, aligning people with the interests of the powerful. By controlling narratives, modern empires secure influence over minds, not just markets. Recognizing cultural dominance is crucial, because it reveals that empire is not merely an economic or political construct, it's a psychological and social force that permeates daily life. Section 8. Resistance and alternatives. Empires, old and new, have always faced resistance. Today, movements advocating economic justice, digital freedom, and ethical consumerism challenge corporate and financial dominance. Awareness sparks activism. Crowdfunding, cooperatives, and grassroots initiatives demonstrate that collective action can shift power dynamics. Technology, ironically, becomes both a tool of control and a tool of liberation. Transparency, regulation, and informed choices allow societies to push back against concentration of power. By studying history and observing modern patterns, we gain insight into strategies for resistance. Change is possible, but it requires conscious effort, critical thinking, and collaboration, proving that even in the face of modern empires, agency still exists. Section 9. The human cost. Behind the wealth and influence of modern empires lies human consequence. Income inequality, labor exploitation, and environmental degradation reflect the cost of concentrated power. Just as historical empires often benefited a few while oppressing many, today's economic structures can marginalize vast populations. The digital age adds another layer: constant surveillance, targeted persuasion, and the commodification of attention impact mental health and autonomy. Recognizing this human cost is not pessimism, it's clarity. By understanding who pays the price, societies can demand fairness, to advocate for ethical policies, and redefine the values that guide economic growth. Humanity must remain central, but the empire's expansion will continue unchecked. Section 10. Conclusion and call to awareness as we've traveled. Through centuries of empires, from armored conquerors to corporate titans, and now into the digital age, one truth stands clear: power never truly disappears, evolves. Today's empires don't wield swords or cannons, but algorithms, media influence, and financial control. The stakes are no less real, and the consequences no less profound. But understanding this is the first step toward reclaiming agency. Awareness is more than knowledge. It's the spark that ignites action. By seeing the patterns, questioning the systems, and recognizing how influence shapes our choices, we can navigate the economy not as subjects, but as conscious participants. The world we inhabit may resemble an empire, but it is not immutable. Empires rise and fall, and so too can the structures that dominate our lives. The tools are in our hands: critical thinking, collective awareness, and deliberate action. So, the question lingers: will we remain passive subjects, or will we step forward as informed citizens, shaping a future that serves people, not just power? The choice is ours, and it begins the moment we open our eyes to the empire around us.